Things are going great, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fine, Steve. I'm doing fine.
I think another Steve may be joining us.
That'd be awesome. Like I say, I'm going to give it a couple of minutes. I'll just let everyone log on because this is like new to everyone during 2020. But it's pretty cool the way we was all able to adapt to the situation and to continue to move forward. So hopefully everyone has adapted and able to continue your success in your journey for life. All righty, I'm loving this. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. That's Corey. Hello, Corey. I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Yep, sure can.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. I'm going to give it 60 more seconds, and you'll get a little bit of information, instructions from me, and then we're going to go from there. I'm going to give it like 60 more seconds, and we're going to go from there. We'll start exactly at 2:03, if you don't mind. And I appreciate you all's patience. Again, this is something I love doing. I've been doing it for almost 40 years. So I know I don't look that old, but I've been doing this for almost 40 years, exactly a little over 39. So I have some very informative information on just basic information on different strategies on eating. Okay, it is 2:03. First of all, like I said, I want to make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. I don't see any faces. I'm hoping that everyone can see my face. If you can hear me loud and clear, can I get a thumbs up? Because I'm going to be muting everyone. If you haven't already muted yourself, I'm going to mute everyone so everyone can hear me loud and clear, okay? Thank you. Thank you. I only see one thumbs up. I need to see some thumbs up because if you don't see thumbs up, that means you really can't hear me. All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, there's the other Steve. Steve, cool. I'm starting to get more and more excited.
Excellent.
Okay. All right, what's up, Steve? I can see Steve's face. It's all right, I'm loving that. Steve, you just made me feel awesome, bro. Okay, guys, first of all, like I said, if everyone can mute yourself, that'd be awesome. And everyone can hear me loud and clear. And I did say, if you can grab pen and paper, that'd be also awesome because no matter what are you trying to do as far as lose fat, build muscle, eat healthy, it doesn't matter. You're going to fit somewhere in the category that I'm going to be elaborating on today. All right. Also, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and type them in while I'm doing the discussion. And I don't want you to forget that, and you can hold them to the end, and we can go over those questions during our Q&A towards the end. So please allow me to introduce myself as I let another one in here. My name is Dewey Admiral Fanning III, and I'm located in the Maryland area. And I've been doing this quietly a little more than 39 years. I'm owner and operator of one of your #1 fitness studios here in this area. So it's something that is innate. It's nothing that I basically went to school for. It's in my blood. So that's why it's going to be really, really easy for me to kind of simplify it for you so you can understand what I'm trying to talk about, okay? I'd like to give a big shout out to Beacon Street Services for allowing me to share my information with you all, and it's something I really enjoy and I really love doing. And as I told you, I've been doing this close to about 40 years, all right? So today, let me just talk a little bit about what we're going to talk about. Today, we're going to talk about the different categories of nutrition. I'm not here to put you on any type of special diet, nothing like that. I'm just going to discuss different eating strategies that would enable you to eat better and make better choices as you continue on with your fitness journey or your healthy journey as well, because the name of our talk is Get Stronger, Live Healthy. You know, let's get stronger, live healthy, live forever, okay? So, as I'm saying, The two first categories that I want to talk about that a lot of people get confused is eating to lose fat and eating healthy. Let me repeat that. Eating to lose fat and eating healthy. Totally, that's like day and night. And the reason I say that is because we want to eat to lose fat if that's our goal. If that's our goal, to lose adipose tissue, okay, aka stored body fat. If we want to eat to lose adipose tissue, then we must follow a certain so-called diet or eating pattern, which I will elaborate on further down the road. And then we have eating healthy. A lot of people get confused on eating healthy and expect to lose adipose tissue. You get it? A lot of people say, well, I had my salad, I had my vegetables, I had my protein, I had my carbs, but nothing's happening. The reason why is because, like I said, it's day and night between eating to lose adipose tissue and eating healthy, which I'm going to get into as well. But I want to talk about all the different categories, and then I'll explain myself, which you will be able to understand so much better, okay? And then we have the four most important categories that I don't care who you are. If you eat food, you're going to fit in one of those categories. And the first category, we have those that live to eat. Let me repeat that. It's four categories that I'm going to elaborate on. And we have that first category is those that live to eat. That's an old saying. Yeah. All right. As we can say, as I say all the time, whatever we eat behind closed doors, we wear it in public. Think about that. Whatever you eat behind closed doors, when you go out in public, you're going to show your type of diet, or your eating habits, or the way that you eat. Okay? And then we have those that eat to live. Now, the difference between those that live to eat and those that have to eat to live is a lot of us have different issues when it comes down to digestive situations. Some people have to eat gluten-free. We have different type of illnesses that we have to eat a certain way in order to live. So we have that category of people that have to eat in order to live. So they have to be very stringent on choosing different types of food in order to live. And that's when it's like when the doctor tells you, say, yeah, you got to eat this or you're going to die, or you got to eat this or you're going to get sick. Then that's when you got your back up against the wall, because everyone loves being under pressure. I know I do. And then when you're back up against the wall, you have no choice but to eat a certain way. All right? And then we have those that eat for optimum health. That's almost something similar to those that eat to live. But those that, when I talk about eating for optimum health, that means that you want to have good organs. You want to have a good digestive system. You want to feel strong. You want to be healthy. That goes back to, like I said in the beginning, the first two categories that people get confused of, on those that eat to lose fat and those that eat healthy. Those that eat to lose fat and those that eat healthy. So going back to those that eat for optimum health, you have to eat a certain way in order to be extremely healthy, okay? And then we have those that eat for maximum performance, like our athletes. Our athletes can't eat like most people, right? It's because, why? They have to eat a certain way in order to perform at a maximum level. So they have to eat for a maximum level. So there are my four categories. Like I said, I don't care who you are, you're going to fit in one of those categories. And those categories are the ones that live to eat, and it shows, because whatever you eat behind closed doors, you're going to wear it in public. And we have those that eat to live, that we have some type of condition that we have to eat a certain way, so your diet is really modified in order for you to live. And then we have those that eat for optimum health. okay? Because you want to be healthy. And we have the ones that eat for maximum performance. And the reason why is because your body has to perform at a maximum level, which is our, athletes. I mean, let me think of a great athlete, Michael Phelps. Okay, if Michael Phelps ate like me, he'll be a fat boy. I mean, he can't eat like me, and I can't eat like him. Why? Because we are two different types of people, different types of metabolism, and we have different energy expenditures throughout the day. I believe Michael Phelps' calories when he was training is right around about 10,000 calories. I mean, that's what a 300-pound bodybuilder would eat. And Michael Phelps weighed no more, I don't think he's close to 200 pounds, So that's the difference between understanding for eating for maximum performance, all right? So, like I said, when it comes down to it, we all want to fit in one of those categories. Now, when it comes down to putting all of it together, you say, you got all the information, we good to go, we know what to do now. But I don't understand macronutrients. What the heck is a macronutrient? Okay, that's some crap I read in a science book when I was in biology school or some crap. Macronutrients is a component of food. Anything that we consume that go in your mouth that's considered food has some type of macronutrient. Now, maybe it be a good macronutrient for what you're trying to do? No, who knows? Is it a bad macronutrient? Who knows? Once we understand, we have a place to consume all of that at any given time. Because I tell you now, I don't look too bad. I'm 58 years old, and on weekends, I'm going to have my fratellis and crab cake with my pasta and my two double cheeseburgers with bacon. Mandatory every weekend. It's been like that forever, and I got abs. Not that I'm bragging, but the reason why I can do that is because I understand my macronutrients. So what are macronutrients? Do anyone know? If you can put your hand up or thumbs up on your text board, on your key panel, anyone know what macronutrients are? Okay, I don't see any thumbs up. Macronutrients are protein, carbs, and fats. Macronutrients, protein, carbohydrates, and fats. What is protein? What's the purpose of protein? Protein builds, repair, and maintain muscle tissue. That's the stuff right here. This is considered 5 pounds of fat. So what protein does, 5 pounds of muscle. Thank you, honey. I got my wife over here helping me out. This is considered 5 pounds of muscle, okay? So this is what protein builds. Protein does what for the body? It does only this, guys. The only thing protein does for the body, it builds, it repairs, and maintains muscle tissue. That's it. Google it. Protein builds, repair, and maintain muscle tissue. Now, we have different types of protein or different categories of protein. We have something that's called your essential proteins or your essential amino acids, which is your proteins. And we have your non-essential amino acids, which is protein, as a component of protein as well. All right? And we need a total of 22 of them to create what we call a complete protein chain. So that's why I said we have to understand macronutrients. Once we understand macronutrients, guys, we can put it all together. And as I end this later on, then I'm going to put it all together so we can get a better understanding on how to utilize this in our eating habits. All right? So we have our incomplete proteins and complete proteins. I'm going to simplify it for you. What's the difference between our complete protein and our incomplete proteins? Now, our incomplete proteins are what we call our non-essentials, which I just said. So our incomplete proteins are non-essentials, which it doesn't have the essential amino acids to create a complete whole protein, okay? Then, also the non-essential amino acids are produced in our body. So therefore, I don't know why they call them non-essential. They are essential, but we don't have to consume them because our body produces them. You get it? That's why they call non-essential proteins, or they consider what we call incomplete proteins that I'm going to explain to you down the road here. Then we have our complete protein that comes from animal sources, and they are considered what your complete proteins. Why are they considered your complete proteins or your essential amino acids? Because the body doesn't produce them. So you have to consume them. Where do they come from? Animal products, dairy products. Okay? Where do incomplete proteins come from? The earth. Bottom line, that's just keeping it simple. I can go further into it, but I don't have time to do that. Okay? So the difference between your incomplete protein and your complete protein is that your complete protein is considered the essential amino acid that we have to consume. We have to put them into our diet because our body don't produce them. And then we have our non-essential amino acids or our incompletes that our body produces. Okay, so then that's on protein. Okay, protein does what again? It builds, repair, maintain this stuff here, which is considered muscle. Now I'm going to go on to carbohydrates, but I want to show you what this is. This is considered 5 pounds of fat. This is the stuff that lies over top of your muscle, okay, that don't have no type of shape to it. All right, it's considered fat or adipose tissue. And this is show you, guys, you see the difference? See how much bigger this is and how much smaller this is? See the difference? See the difference? But both of these are 5 pounds. But this canvas a lot more area than this. This is your fat, this is your protein. Okay? So, that's your muscle. My fault, that's your muscle. So what does protein does? It builds, repair, and maintain muscle tissue. Now, hopefully you got that in a little bit, all right? I know I'm talking fast because I got so much I want to get in. So let's talk about carbohydrates, or what we consider carbs. Everybody say, man, you don't want no carbs. You don't want no carbs. Guys, ladies, no, you need carbs. First of all, carbs are considered what you call your primary source of energy. Carbohydrates is your primary source of energy. You need a minimum of 50 grams of glucose just for the brain to function at that very stressful job that we all have. That if you lack on carbs, you're not going to be able to think properly. You're going to feel somewhat lethargic. How do I know? I give you empirical proof on that, and the reason why is because when I train for my bodybuilding shows, which I've competed in many bodybuilding shows, and I won, you have to deprive yourself of carbs. And some people that I've trained in my time hate it when I do a show because you're irritable, you're lethargic, and you have no patience. Why? Because you are actually neglecting a very important nutrient that your body really needs in order for it to function, not even at a maximum level, but just at a daily level. Because again, you need a minimum of 50 grams of glucose just for the brain to function on a normal daily schedule, okay? So don't neglect carbohydrates. Now, we have different categories of carbohydrates, all right? We have what we call our complex carbohydrates, and we have our simple carbohydrates. Now, what's the difference? Real quickly, the only difference between a complex carbohydrate and a simple carbohydrate is that a complex carbohydrate has a little bit more fiber, and it digests a little bit slower. Okay, and you can understand that if you ever heard of what we call a glycemic index. If you ever heard of the glycemic index chart, if you look at that, you can see the difference because the lower the carb is on the glycemic index, it's more so in that complex carbohydrate category. And the other carbohydrate, which we said, our simple carbohydrate, is basically, keep it simple, has no fiber in it, and they're empty calories, more so sugar. That's what actually gets you, makes this stuff here grow. I didn't want to say make you fat, but that's what makes this stuff grow, okay? So, sugar. Sugar turns to, believe it or not, fat. And I'll explain to you that also towards the end. So that's the difference between our carbohydrates. We have a complex carbohydrate and we have our simple carbohydrate. Our complex carbohydrate has more fiber, more substance to it, and it digests a lot slower. I'll give you a perfect example on that. And a lot of people get this misconstrued. They think brown rice is a lot more healthier than white rice. You get that? A lot of people think brown rice is a lot more healthier than white rice. If you put the nutritional facts of brown rice and white rice side by side, the exact same nutritional facts, the exact same, that same amount of carbs, same amount of calories, same grams of fat, same grams of protein. The only difference is brown rice has 1 more gram of fiber than white rice. Google it. Brown rice have 1 more gram of fat than white rice, so therefore, what happens? It's going to digest a little slower. Excuse me?
You said fat. It's fiber.
Fiber. There we go again. That's why she's my partner. It has 1 more gram of fiber than it has 1 more gram of fiber than white rice. So therefore, it's going to digest a lot slower than white rice. But do I eat brown rice? No. I love white rice because it's not really a difference. But you got to know when to eat it. I wouldn't eat a cup of rice at 10 o'clock at night unless I'm doing some type of I don't know, training for some type of event or some type of competition. All right? But just your regular person, no. You don't want to be eating carbs late at night. All right? And the last macronutrient I'm going to discuss is our fats. Now, does fat make you fat? Or can fat turn into fat? No, fat can't turn into fat because it's already fat. No, fat don't make you fat. Believe it or not, you need to eat fat in order to lose fat. That's crazy, right? But it's so true. You need to eat fat in order to lose fat. If you think about it, let's go back to the Atkins diet. The Atkins diet is basically very low carbohydrates, very high protein, and what? A ton of good fats. And the Atkins diet is a very popular diet. It's a very popular diet. Do I believe in it? It's not a lifestyle. I don't believe in any of these advertised diets. It's considered you can use them as a lifestyle. I'm not here to vilify any of these different types of diets because they all can be used somewhere in your lifestyle. Depends on what you're trying to accomplish with your eating. So, but you want to understand them and you want to know how they work. So, again, fat can't get you fat. No. Fat can't turn to fat because it's already fat. But carbohydrates can do what? Carbohydrates can turn to fat. Now, remember I said carbohydrates are considered what you call your primary source of fuel. Right? Fats are considered your preferred choice of fuel, which I'm going to go over because I've got a really cool story to actually explain to you how that works and how to maximize fat loss at the best. At the best. You're going to love that. Anyone that's trying to drop those last 5-10 pounds of fat, I got some cool strategy that I'm going to give to you that's going to become very, very effective if you put it to source, okay? And then, let's talk about our micro, not a macro. Let's talk about our micronutrients. We can't live that out of the picture because when we start eating and we want to eat healthy, right? And we want to eat for maximum performance or we want to eat for optimum health, we cannot forget about our micronutrients. What are micronutrients? Just to name a few of them. Sodium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, copper. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on. When it comes down to our micronutrients, that is a constituent in order to accomplish those different categories of nutrition, okay? So don't forget about the small ones. Now, the big ones, which you consider your protein, carbs, and fat, are very important, but please don't forget about the little small stuff, right, to make the big stuff stronger and better and healthier, all right? That's why they have vitamins. But when you eat properly, you really don't need vitamins because you get it all in your food. Now, if you're on a diet, I can see you taking some type of vitamin supplement. You heard it said supplement. And that's what they're called. They are called supplements because you're supplementing them into your eating habits because you're not getting it in your food that you consume throughout the day. All right? Some of my clients ask me, what is the most efficient way to burn body fat? The most efficient way to burn body fat. And I like to explain to you my little story when it comes down to burning body fat. And I think it's pretty cool. Now, let me rewind this a little bit. Remember when I talked about you have your primary source of energy, which are considered your carbohydrates? Well, your fat is considered your preferred choice of energy. Let me repeat that. Your carbohydrates are considered your primary choice of fuel, and fat is your preferred choice of fuel. Now, how can we tap into that primary source of fuel in order to hit our preferred choice of fuel? Now, I'm pretty sure everyone knows what an 18-wheeler truck is. Everyone knows what that is, okay? An 18-wheeler has two gas tanks. If you look at it on each side, right? On each side of an 18-wheeler, you have two big gas tanks, right? One is what? Your primary gas tank, right? And the other one is what? Your reserve gas tank. You have two of them. So when that 18-wheeler going a long distance drive, right, they fill up both tanks because they're going to drive cross country and they don't want to stop to fill up, okay? So what happens? They take off. What starts to burn? The primary source of fuel. What is that? The primary gas tank, which is the first gas tank. They driving. The primary gas tank becomes empty. Okay? Now, what is our primary source of fuel? Carbohydrates. You get it? Our primary source of fuel are your carbohydrates. So, the first gas tank, right, which is your primary gas tank, becomes empty. We don't want to fill it back up. We don't want to eat no more pasta and rice and oatmeal. No, not now, because it's empty. Now we do what? Boom, we already hit the reserve gas tank, which is considered what? Our preferred source of fuel when it comes down to stored adipose tissue. But if you notice, we didn't touch the reserve or your preferred choice of fuel until we dump out your primary source of fuel, which is the first gas tank. Now, how do I put that to our body? All right? Our body stores, whenever we eat carbohydrates, let me put it to you like this. Whenever we consume carbohydrates, we put them in. I'm not going to go into a long tirade discussion on the digestive system, which I would love to. But when we consume carbohydrates, it goes in in a form of glucose. We eat it, it goes in a form of glucose. When we digest it, it converts to something that's called glycogen. Now, our body contains so many grams of glycogen throughout the body. I've been saying this for almost 40 years, right? Our liver stores anywhere between 300 to 400 grams of glycogen in our liver, all right? Which is like the, what do you call it? Your dispatcher for wherever your nutrients have to go. Everything has to go through the liver in order to permeate it throughout the body for functioning, all right, or for the purpose, all right? So, my point is that once we I want to get back on thought there because I jumped off a little bit because I want to explain that to you. Once we tap into our reserve gas tank, which is our preferred choice, okay, and we consuming carbs, as I said, they go in as glucose, convert to glycogen. Our liver stores anywhere between 300 to 400 grams of glycogen, right? And our muscles, 14 to 1600 grams of stored glycogen that's in our muscles, okay? And our, let me keep going. There's so many of them that stored glycogen in our liver and our muscles. I believe that is about it, all right? So we have to deplete those. We have to deplete those grams of glycogen in order to touch our body fat. If we still have our bodies still have all that glycogen in it, that's what we're going to be using for energy, which is considered what? Our primary source of energy. We're trying to get away from that. We're trying to tap into our preferred choice of energy, which is our stored body fat. So once we empty out, or what we call deplete our stored glycogen, what's burning next? We tapping into the fat. We tapping into the fat. Now, do you not eat any more carbs? It all depends on what you're trying to accomplish. But remember, we never, ever want to go over long periods of time with 0 grams of carbs. Why? Because it takes a minimum of 50 grams of glucose just for your body to function. So, my little story to end that is, if you want to tap into your stored body fat, which is our preferred source of fuel, we have to dump out our stored glycogen. And I think we call that becoming somewhat called ketosis. And they came up with a diet for that, didn't they? What is it called? The ketone? What is it? The ketone diet?
Ketogenesis.
Yeah.
Keto?
Yeah, the keto.
Ketogenesis.
Yeah, the keto diet.
It's ketogenesis.
Yeah, I seen something. Someone had take the house key to the toe and said, "There, your keto diet." I thought that was cute. I'm sorry, but like I said, we don't want to do that for a long period of time. Now, is the keto diet popular? Yes, it is. They have the best advertising company to do that. And what happens, we have all these different diets. Guys, let's talk about some different diets real quick. Just to name a few, we have the South Beach diet, the keto diet, the Atkins diet, the paleo diet. I can go on and on and on and on. Right? Now, does these diets have a place in your lifestyle? Believe it or not, it does. And you got to remember, everybody has a different metabolism, which I didn't really get go on. And I only got about 10 minutes more to talk. And I have so much more I would love to share with you all right? But what I want to do is, I want to make sure that everyone wants to understand and know the best way to burn body fat, or to tap into your stored body fat that's on your body. You got to stop putting carbs in you and bring them down low. The best way that I like it, is to start, like I said, it's just my opinion, that's all it is. I stay on somewhat a high protein meal plan. And the reason why is because if you look at the FDA, right, they say that we should consume 1 kilo of protein per 0.8 pounds of your body weight. That's ridiculous. It's not my opinion. In the sports, and if you want to put some muscle on and you want to go to some real experts, they would tell you you want 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. The least amount, you want 1 gram of protein per lean pound of body weight. But if you're trying to put, I'm talking to my guys, because Steve, I see you out there, but man, so if you're trying to put some muscle on, right, you want to eat a minimum of 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, not what they say, 0.8 grams of protein per pounds of body weight. That's what it is. 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. That's ridiculous. But if you think about it, the FDA just don't want you to get sick. And if you look at anything you purchase, when it comes down to nutrition, if you read the back of it, look on the bottom, and it says this is based on a 2,000 calorie diet. I don't care what it is. It could be on a can of black pepper. If you look, it'll say this diet, or these facts is based on a 2,000 calorie diet. Check it out. Another little tidbit for you. When it comes down to dropping adipose tissue, okay, and you're coming up with an eating plan, you got to come into what we call a caloric deficient state. You want to put yourself in a caloric deficient state, and the reason why is because you want to burn more calories than you consume. All right? We got something we call your RMR, which is your resting metabolic rate. That's how many calories or how much fuel your body uses just for laying in bed, not moving, with your eyes open. If you think about it, you burning tons of calories right then. The best formula for that, you can write this down, is you take, let me get it right, you take your body weight, you divide it by 2.2 and multiply it times 24. I repeat that. Take your body weight, divide it by 2.2 and multiply that by 24. And that's going to give you a proximity of your RMR, which stands for your resting metabolic rate. And your resting metabolic rate is just laying in bed, not moving, with your eyes open. Because think about it, you're still breathing, right? So your lungs working, your kidneys working, your liver working, it's taking energy. So you're still burning calories. Okay. So that'll give you a proximity on how many calories your body is burning from just doing nothing. So it depends on what you're trying to do is how you're going to put that together. Also, one more thing. When it comes down to protein, carbs, and fat, you want to know this here. You want to write this down too as well if you don't know it yet. 1 gram of protein. 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. 1 gram of carbohydrates is 4 calories. 1 gram of fat. 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. It's 9 calories. 1 ounce of alcohol. And I'm sure y'all love that wine. And I know they say, oh, red wine is good for you. You have antioxidant. No, that's tons of sugar. 1 ounce of alcohol is 7 calories. And then they say, oh, we got the Coors Light. They only 40 calories. Come on, guys. Now we're drinking chemicals. But I'm not going to go there. All right? So you got to remember that when it comes down to understanding your macronutrients and knowing how many calories there are, you got 1 gram of protein has 4 calories. 1 gram of carbohydrate is 4 calories. 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. And 1 gram of alcohol is 7 calories. Now, it takes 3,500 calories to lose a pound or to gain a pound. So, if you're trying to lose some weight, if you burn 3,500 calories, according to science, you should be 1 pound lighter on that scale. But you got to burn 3,500 calories. Okay? So, guys, I can keep going on and on and on, but do anyone have any questions you would like to ask me? That'd be so cool. Do anyone have any questions for me?
I have one.
Sure. Is that Caitlin? What is it, Caitlin?
Yes, sir. Hello.
How you doing,
I
Caitlin?
was doing good. I was going to do you offer like one-on-one like coaching or training for this?
Ye-
Or
yes.
sharing-
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Thank you for asking. I'm not here to sell anything. I'm being honest with you. I'm here just to share my experience because I was recommended by an awesome person. But yes, I do. If you write down this here, and you can email me at the Admiral Personal Training, right?
Emails Admiral Fit.
Okay, my wife, my partner, she's over here on my right hand side.
Emails Admiral Fit.
Admiral Fit. You can email Admiral Fit. Admiral, you spell it just like in the Navy, ADMIRAL FITT @yahoo.com. Admiral is my middle name, so it's called Admiral Fit @yahoo.com. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and I can give you my number on right now. You can write this down. Are you ready?
Yes.
It is 443-682-4660. The best thing to do is text me, and I'll get right back at you. Okay?
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you asking me. Do I have any other questions? Please ask me. Pick this big head of mine, guys. Any more questions from anyone out there? Sound like a funeral home in here. Excuse me?
I can ask another one since no one else wants
Keep coming at me, girl. Come on. What else you going to
So,
know?
how do you determine which, I guess, diet or which plan, I guess, would work best for you? Because, like, everybody, body's different. Everybody's biochemical makeup's different. So how do you, like, know what's going to work best for you on what you're trying to achieve? Because that's where I fall short.
Okay. Well, first of all, what I like to do, we do have, it's not a cookie cutter, but first of all, we want to, I would have to see your body type, okay? And then I would see how you eat now. And once I see how you eat now, maybe we just like kind of off a little bit, or are we eating totally off, wrong? I would see how you're eating, and then we would implement it from there. We will put you on a different eating plan. We will kind of like look at and see, do you have any type of conditions that need to be looked at a little closer, and make sure you don't have any digestive issues, and then start picking better foods, creating better habits with training as well. I do tons and tons of personal training, and I will tell you this here, my love is to sculpture and chisel bodies. I do that very well, and I've been doing it close to 40 years. So, like I said, it all depends. Once we sit down and talk, I see exactly how you're eating, and we create it from there. It's not like I can just give you something to do right now because I don't know anything about you. So I would just be guessing, okay? So use that number I gave you, and then we can go, and that will be free as well, all right? And I will give you any type of information that you're seeking, okay?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have any other questions from anyone?
Dewey, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am. What question you like?
Can you just talk for a minute about whether you advise people to eat before they work out or after they work out, or how to kind of time that?
Yes. Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. Because I will tell you this here. You do not want to come to me on an empty stomach and talking about you're going to train. That doesn't work too well. The different times to eat, you want to consume not a large greasy meal, but if you say, for an example, all right, I'm going to go here first, Cynthia. I'm going to go here, then I'm going to come back, all right? If you're going to do cardio, you want to do that on an empty stomach. Everyone heard of fasted cardio, fasting cardio. And the reason why fasting cardio is so effective is because you don't have to go through those 3 energy pathways, which is your ATP, adenosine triphosphate, your glycolytic, right? And then your oxidative. When you hit your oxidative, that's when you know you're in your fat burning zone, all right? So the best time to do on an empty stomach would be doing fasted cardio. Now, if you're going to do any strength training, I recommend, my opinion, you want to eat anywhere between a light meal, nothing heavy, a light meal 30 to 45 minutes before your training. Now, would you eat T-bone steaks and a baked potato with cream cheese? No, all right? We have what we call a pre-workout meal and a post-workout meal. A pre-workout meal is going to be more on your carbohydrate side. It's going to be more on your carbohydrate side. And the reason why is we're trying to fuel the body to give it some energy. Because again, like I said, that is our preferred source of fuel. Now, do we want to take in a large amount of carbohydrates? No, we want just enough. We want just enough to give it a kickstart to start burning the stored fat. So you will want to eat a meal 30 to 45 minutes, a light meal, and you will want more carbs because it is your pre-workout meal, okay? So you want to consume more carbohydrates than protein. But you never, ever, 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 let me repeat this, you never, ever, 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 ever want to eat a carbohydrate by itself. That's like a piece of chocolate cake, some coconut cake, key lime pie, stuff like that. You never want to eat some carbohydrates by itself. If so, that's guaranteed it's going to convert. It's going in as glucose. It's going to convert to stored glycogen. And right from that stored glycogen, if you don't get on that Stairmaster for about an hour, it's going to go right to your adipose tissue, which is going to store as fat. It'll convert to fat, okay? So when it comes down to training and eating, right, you want to make sure 30 to 45 minutes before, and you want more on your carbohydrate side than your protein when it comes down to your pre-workout meal. And then you have your post-workout meal. Your post-workout meal, my opinion, right, I would want more protein and not as much carbs. And the reason why is I want just enough carbs in that post meal just to push that protein to my muscle a lot quicker. You got it? Does that answer your question, ma'am?
Yep, it sure does. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Any other? Come on, Steve, ask me a question, bro. Steve, ask me a question. What kind of question? Stevie V, what's up, my man? Ask me a question.
So, you know, it's a really good question. I'm more general nutrition guidelines, so like healthy living, you know, habits that you can really stick with. What do you do to like try to really decrease your sugar consumption because it's so addictive? I try to replace it with like natural sugar, and then
sugar.
I don't have to get rid of all of it, but I don't know. That's just what I'm trying to remove.
Okay.
More and drink more water.
Yes.
Do you have any tips around that?
Oh my God, man, I forgot all about talking about water. Oh my God, thank you. I told you, man, 45 minutes is not enough. All right. When it comes down to sugars, okay, sugar is sugar. Again, sugar is sugar. And people say, oh, well, eat my grapes, and I eat my oranges, and I eat my peaches, and I eat my pineapples. Guys, yes, fruit is very healthy. Fruit has tons of fiber. Good fiber, believe it or not. Has tons of good fiber. But it has tons of natural fructose. It has tons of it, okay? That's why we talk about the red wine. Wine is made out of grapes, especially the red wine, okay? So when it comes down to sugar, sugar is sugar no matter what it is. But what you want to do is that once we cut back on the sugars, and how do you do that? You got to understand macronutrients, going back to the difference between complex carbs and carbohydrates and your simple carbohydrates, all right? So what you want to do is that you want to consume more of your complex carbs. And by consuming more of your complex carbs, all right, it'll automatically, you will start cutting back on your sugars, because now you're understanding and keeping a track on how you're eating, because you say, you know what, I'm going to get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I'm going to take in so many grams of carbs. Now, am I asking you to go cold turkey? Should you? No. Put it to where that, you know, like I said, remember, Steve, when I said that on weekends, I have my crab cake and my pasta? That's automatic. I have my 2, not 1, but 2 double cheeseburgers. If I don't make it myself, hello, Five Guys, I'm coming at you, right? And I still look magnificent at age 58. Why? Because I understood how to consume my macronutrients, all right? So that's one thing you want to do, and just understand other means of going to, which you can also hit me up as well, admiralfit@yahoo.com. The Admiral, just like in the Navy, fit with 2 T's at yahoo.com. Ask me any question, and I can go more and more into detail for you. That'd be awesome if you would do that, okay? Any other questions from anyone? Well, without further ado, if we don't have any other questions, listen up, guys. This is not the end. On the 22nd, on 10/22, we have an awesome exercise class, okay, an awesome exercise class. And I'm going to be talking about nutrition again. And hopefully I can remember some of the same stuff I talked about today, and I can implement some more stuff that would be very informative as well. So to end this, I went over my time a little bit, and I don't want to keep going. I don't want to get in trouble. I most definitely appreciate everyone for tuning in today, and I most definitely appreciate the participation. I appreciate the questions, and I hope if you need any more, you can always hook up to admiralfit@yahoo.com. That's like Admiral in the Navy, and fit with 2 T's at yahoo.com. Feel free to ask me any question. I'll be more than glad to give you any information. If you want my phone number, it's 443-682-4660. This is not the last of me. You get to see me one more time. And I believe that's on the 22nd of this month. Hey, guys, take care. Everyone, stay healthy, get strong, live longer. God bless you. Peace out. Admiral Fit, baby.
Thanks, Joey.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.